What's up YouTube, and welcome to Homebrew Subaru. In this episode I'm going to change out all the lights in the dash of my Forester to some red LEDs. I've purchased these on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. If you buy them like a set like this, you can actually type in the make and model of your vehicle. And odds are you can find a complete kit that will do the dash of your vehicle or just the instrument cluster. Now the main reason I am doing this is I had changed out all of the cluster and dash bulbs in the Impreza to red, and just driving that last winter was like, wow, this looks really good. I'm going to want to do the same thing to the Forester. It's a lot easier on the eyes, and I do actually have like a bunch of the 194s that I bought to do that job. I just ran out of all the small ones, but I found out buying just exactly what you need as a kit is actually cheaper to get it done. I did go ahead and do some routine maintenance on the Forester, so it got its oil change, which hasn't been changed since I had the engine out, so this is the first time the oil's been dropped since the head gaskets were done. And then I just decided, well, the tires haven't ever been rotated either, so I might as well do that at the same time. So the tires got their first rotation, I'm gonna say around the 5,000 or 6,000 kilometer mark, so they show good tread wear. The vehicle isn't like perfectly aligned anymore from doing a bunch of off-road stuff, but not too big of a deal. So I'm going to set up the camera. We're going to yank out this instrument cluster, change out some bulbs, and see what this thing looks like. So this is how I've had my instrument cluster for like 7-8 years. I bought these LEDs that long ago. I've had one either lose connection or burn out there. And it is possible to change the LED in the clock if you want to change that out. And if I have enough bulbs, I want to change out these ones in the climate control switch area, because this one you can kind of see flickers. And then I've got one that's not lighting up over here. And as far as I remember, you just pop this panel off and they're pretty much right in the face of that switch. Alright, so having a second look at this, it appears if I just lower the steering column all the way and lock it there, I should be able to get this surround out of there no problem. And then I think the cluster is set far back enough that it may be able to turn around and get disconnected and just pull right out of there without taking off this shroud. So we'll try that first. I'm just using a little stubby Phillips. My actual real stubby Phillips I can't find. And it's at this point in my life that something like that may have gone missing like a couple years back, and I just don't remember. There's one, the other one's over here. And it is just these two Phillips screws, and the whole thing will actually pop out. It's just connected with clips down at the bottom. And yep. So that will come out of there. And whenever you're working in here, it's a common thing to actually hit this parking switch. And a lot of people don't ever remember that this parking switch is here. But with the key off, it will keep on your parking lights, which are, you know, basically your front clearance lights and your tail lights. And it'll kill your battery if you forget it on. So make sure that when you're done all this, that switch is turned off. And it looks like 3 more Phillips screws, just 2 on the bottom and 1 up top. And hopefully I can get that out of there. Now you don't want to be dropping those into the abyss. And that's all 3 screws. Get this turned around. Looks like it's going to come out no problem. And getting these connectors can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. They are quite tight. The wiring is quite tight, and then the release tab is set quite far in, so I mean, you may actually need like a screwdriver or something to help you get them loose. Now this center connector is almost impossible to see, but if you get your finger in there, you can kind of feel where the tab is, and then just line up your screwdriver, push down, and just start really pulling on that connector, because it is a pain to get off. And with those 3 connectors all undone, we should have the cluster in our hands now. There we go. And take it over to the bench and get some of these bulbs changed out. Alright, so now that we have the instrument cluster out of the vehicle and on the bench, we can just flip it over and start trying to figure out what bulbs are doing what job. And the best way to do that is to actually take a light and just flash it in behind with the bulbs removed. So you can actually see there's actually a place for a fog light bulb over on that side. And the ABS bulb, you can see I've actually removed that from the cluster. I'm pretty sure all of these bigger ones will be. As you can see, that's one of the LEDs right there. So just taking care of some of those, and I got a feeling these little pin-styled connectors are the reason that they probably weren't lighting where they were supposed to. So just get into this new pack of LEDs, and these ones actually have a cap on them, and I think that's probably to like spread the light a little better instead of, you know, getting hot spots. But I do have plenty of the other style, so if I want to change these ones for these ones, I can always try that. But yeah, you just kind of pop that into the socket. Ooh, that feels nice and tight. Can even give a little flick down on these connections here just to make sure they make good connection. Just put that back in. Alright, so I've got those 3 larger bulbs changed out to red, and these ones all at the bottom seem to be changed. They are, this one's for the odometer, and this one seems to be another illumination. All these ones at the top are like signals and cruise and high beam. This one down over here at the bottom is for the charging indicator. So I've literally just got these 3 to change out. And I think if I can just stick my screwdriver in here, these should come out pretty easy. And oh yeah, these are like the really low profile bulbs that I put in. Huh. And fortunately, because I have this habit of holding on to stuff, it looks like I have the original sockets that I can put these other style LEDs into. So yeah, I should just be able to pop that out of there, pop one of the red ones in, and it should fit in there the way it's supposed to. Sort of like that. These other ones out. Oh yeah, they just come out nice and easy. I don't remember actually buying these. It's been that long. I don't know, it's a little hard to tell, but this one, when I shine light into it, looks like it illuminates the fuel gauge a little better. So I'm going to try one in there. It can't hurt anything. It's just an LED. And now that I've got those all changed out, I'm going to plug this in temporarily, see if I've missed anything or if I actually need to take some out and turn them around 180 degrees for polarity. And if not, we get to fasten it all up and we get to see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just buttoning up everything. I had to flip around a couple of the LEDs 180 degrees because they obviously are polarity sensitive. And as you can see here, I've just got the shifter surround taken off, and then you can actually pop the front cover off of the climate control. As long as you take the knobs off, they just pop off as well. And then get a little pick in behind here and pop it. And then the bulbs, you don't actually have to undo the sockets. You can pull the bulbs right out of the sockets from the front face of it here. And then I just put in those red ones. I actually had to turn both of those around to get them to light up. Okay, so I'm all ready to see how this turned out. And there's a first look at the instrument cluster. You get a really good, everything's illuminated really well. The light's displaced nice and evenly actually with those caps. Looks a little bit hot over here, but that looks okay to me. And then to change this guy, I think we just go into function, display, color select. We'll see what red looks like. Okay, so red 1 is probably going to be what it is. Yeah, red 2 starts getting a little bit too pink. And then even this blue LED socket, I will change it out so that it's got a red LED or no LED at all. But I would like to have 2 ports here. It's great for charging on the go. So that is a fairly easy creature comfort modification you can make to your older vehicle, especially if it's got those incandescent bulbs in the instrument cluster. Usually they kind of light up an off green or an off white or yellow or something like that on older vehicles, and just changing them out the bulbs to whatever color LED that you actually want. the LEDs will overpower whatever color is in the actual cluster. So this thing was like originally a very light green. I put blue ones in, it was blue. I put red ones in, it's red. And that red color is going to make it a lot easier for night driving, long distance. Not that I do a lot of that, but I'm trying to keep the Impreza and the Forester matched up a little bit here and there. Just the things that I kind of do to one, I kind of think about if I'll do it to the other. And having, you know, red in both vehicles just makes them feel that much more the same. They do drive quite different. You know, the Forester's lifted and the Impreza's a lot lower, makes a lot more power, but just the actual overall feel of sitting in the seat and grabbing hold of the steering wheel, I like the two vehicles being quite similar. Now I'm going to go ahead and change out that last bulb in the clock off camera, but if you like this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. For whatever reason, the clock is not lit up anymore. Holy fuck.